A raft of wandering otters, and here we are. It is the... What's the date today, son?
I'll show you. The 11th.
The 11th of April. And we are, this would be the Saturday. It's actually Easter Eve. So, for those of you that celebrate
Can we start decorating
the Western
tomorrow?
Easter. What?
Start decorating tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah, you want to decorate eggs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. We even have white eggs. Can we limit the amount of eggs we decorate to about 12?
Why?
Well, because eggs are kind of hard to come by. I don't want to have to go shop for eggs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what is your coping mechanism? I think that'll be today's theme. For Paul and me, it's taking a little drive like we do right now. And when we do take a drive, it's always a good opportunity to do a little filming. And I hope you're enjoying it. Yesterday's video, I can tell you right now, I wasn't happy with how blurry it was. So before I do any filming out of the window, the car window today, I'm going to make sure I clean it first. So we're going to go gas up and clean this car window, okay? So come see what we see. Raft of Wandering Otters. Paul and Steve at your service. Right, Paul?
Right.
Oh, and by the way, happy holiday. Greetings for the season. Those of you that celebrate Passover or Easter. I know some people celebrate both. So happy days to all of you, and I know this is probably going to be one of the most unusual ones in many years. So there you go. All right. Raft of Wandering Otters. All right, I just gassed up. I don't know if those are normal prices where you are. I've seen them in other parts of the country a heck of a lot cheaper than that, for sure. But for us, $2.59 a gallon is pretty darn cheap. Of course, I had to take the plus option, so that ended up being about $2.99 a gallon with my Valero card. So I'm not sure why that is, if they're short on that gas or they're just, because we're a captive audience, they figure they can just make us buy the more expensive gas. Don't know. You know, it's an interesting experience when, several people have posted, and it's kind of circulating around. I know it's on Facebook, fake news, right? But you are supposed to be extra careful when using your credit card and touching stuff at the gas pump, because, and if you think about it, it makes sense. All kinds of people touching that all day in, day out, and even though it's sitting sort of in the sun, that's probably a really good precaution to take. Okay, Paul and I have discussed it, and we decided that we're going to go ahead and show you Carmel these days during these strange days. By the way, another little thing, and I'm not a preachy person. I can get a little righteous sometimes, or self-righteous, I guess is the word. But I want you to think real carefully. You know, some people have always driven like, for lack of a better word, jerks. And if you keep driving like there's no problem, or like I'm in my car and I'm invincible, or whatever logic goes through people's minds when they drive in a car like that, I want you to think real long and hard about what happens if you commit a traffic violation that is serious enough that the police officer has to stop you. So now social distancing is kind of makes things complicated. It adds risk for the police officers unnecessary risk. And then, and God forbid, but in worst case scenarios, what if you actually have an accident because you're driving like a jerk, or cause an accident because you're driving like a jerk? And now there are people that, there are all kinds of ways people can be exposed to blood products, body fluids, all kinds of stuff that can increase the chance of transferring this virus. So my question is, why would you drive as recklessly as before in these days? Yes, you're okay in your car social distance wise, but that can change real fast if there's an accident, especially if you fly through your window, right? I don't know, just saying, be careful out there, drive sensibly, please. The roads are very uncrowded. There's no reason to be extra aggressive these days. Carmel is taking it seriously, which they should, because they tend to have the population of Carmel here tends to be a little bit older anyway. Wow. Holy smokes. I've seen more people in ghost towns. Especially if you want people to stay off the beach and not congregate there. Here it is, Easter weekend. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be able to drive the Scenic Drive here in Carmel. Yep, road closed. How about that? That's interesting. Well, this is a pretty street I'd never go on. There's the ocean to our right.
Deaf and roll.
Deaf and roll? I don't know what that is.
It's like heavy metal.
Is that right? I'll be darned. Look at that. They're going to let us onto the Scenic Drive here. We found a sneaky way on. Look at that. And there are people on the beach. There's the Hobbit house. Well, lo and behold, we still were able to get on the part of the Scenic Drive here. So that was fun. Go Bears!
Bears.
Well, there are people down there picnicking on the beach, even though I think they're not supposed to, but I really don't know. And of course, rules are only as good as their enforcement, right? Oh, here's a side question. What's your favorite hockey team? Paul likes the
Jets.
Winnipeg Jets. I don't know what my favorite hockey team is because obviously I didn't grow up playing hockey. Anyway, what do you do to cope with all this? What's your coping strategy? We just enjoy a drive. Sometimes and we were doing this before the lockdown. Yeah. So this is just our way of coping with life in general and not feeling cooped up. I mean, the fact that Susan and I are retired and Paul's out of school, so all three of us are home and or together 24/7. So we would like to full-time RV at some point, or long time, I should say, RV, but then yeah, well, I don't think we want to give up our house, give up having an actual home base where that's your place and you can stay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's videos. Carmel, a lot of people are kind of skirting the rules a little bit, sneaking down to the beach and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure the beach is actually closed. I think Carmel Beach belongs to the city of Carmel, and they may have some flexibility about whether or not they want to close the beach. Some people are following social distancing rules, face mask and all that other stuff. Other people not so much. And anyway, I hope everybody's having a safe time, although it can drive people crazy being cooped up in their house. But like I say, this is kind of like what our life was like more or less before this. So welcome to our world. Raft of Wandering Otters, thank you for joining us today, Paul and I, and maybe Susan. We'll see you in the next one. Happy Easter to everybody, and may God bless us all. You agree?
Agree.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
I was thinking